Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism, back with another live video for you today. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to all. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, I greatly appreciate it. Shout out and a big thank you, as always, to my patrons. Got to say thank you to them. They make this channel possible, making this show possible, make my Monday night shows possible, my latest movie possible, and all the future work I do. So I can't say thank you guys enough. If you'd like to join them, you can simply go to patreon.com/jeranism and sign up to be part of the, coolest club this side of Martha's Vineyard. I don't know. I do appreciate it greatly. Also, thank you to Chris Hatfield with his masterclass YouTube ad that I just saw starting out the show, as always. I guess I should get used to that. So thank you, Chris Hatfield, and all the great astronauts and heroes at NASA. Also, I have a new sponsor, believe it or not. Let me see here if I can get it ready for you. A new sponsor, and they have a little ad. So we're going to start out with that ad today. So here it is. Everybody, enjoy.
In the early days of space exploration, boys and girls across the planet dreamed of going to space. Anything was possible, from satellites to rockets. If they dreamed it, we built it. Limited only by our imaginations. Young Timmy didn't need to wonder about where he lived. From television to the classroom, we told him what to think.
Tim, what do you think?
Ah, the early days of space propaganda. Today, things have gotten a little more sophisticated.
Just work the water up through to the end.
I'll spread the peanut butter on my sandwich. And then I'll get my jelly ready.
Who needs to wonder about where they live when you have the Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock app at your fingertips? A dynamic new app for teaching family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the days. The moon measures the months. The stars, the zodiac, measures the years. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app with new added features. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Amazing backgrounds. Or add your own. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Now with Moon Data Phase Percentage and clean screen features, simply click off all the items you don't wish to see. Don't let them throw off your natural rhythm with fake daylight savings time. Know the true time. Now with FAQ video links, quickly reference redundant flat Earth questions. Easily turn on and off the new compass feature. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how the flat Earth actually works.
The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Light years ahead of its time.
All right, how cool was that? Pretty cool. That is done by Andrew Lanks, friend of Yahweh. Awesome guy, one of the best guys in the Flat Earth community. So if you're not subscribed to him, check it out. If you want to see that ad, if you want to see that promo, I will have the link in the description immediately following the show, so you can check that out. Today's show, Jeranism, Sunday Live, Seeing Stars. And I'll talk a little bit about why I called it that shortly. And yes, this is the normal Globebusters time slot. I'm filling that time slot temporarily while Bob finishes up moving and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, no Globebusters is not gone. I've seen a lot of people say that. Globebusters is over. No, it's not a falling out. Many people think that the gravity issue has divided us, and it hasn't. Bob and I have already discussed our differences of opinion, and honestly, it isn't even that different. You know, I've said that everything in disequilibrium would need to go somewhere, and whatever direction it went would be down. And Bob feels that down is set by an electromagnetic charge differential that sets it down. Well, okay. And then from that point, I say that wherever things go in some direction, that relative density sorts it all out from that point. And Bob says after the establishment of down, relative density sorts it all out. It's the same thing. I say potatoes, he says potatoes. You know, that's just the way it is. I say Jessica Alba, he says Jessica Biel, 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. So certainly no reason for a Globebuster hiatus other than Bob is moving, taking that time off, and I'm filling the time slot. So that's basically it. Have no fear, Globebusters will be back soon. And, you know, when the question is asked, who are you going to call? Well, right now the number's being forwarded to me. But soon we will be back to our same bat time, same bat channel. So look forward to that coming soon. That will be on the Globebusters channel, of course. I do not know where Iro is. Boom, boom, boom. He was supposed to be joining me, I had thought, but he is currently missing in action. So thanks a lot, Iro. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure he's got something important going on. So Iro is not joining me. But thank you for the app promo. That was awesome, Andrew Lanks. I also want to show people, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, which you should have, David and I did a Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app review recently. That was, I don't know, 2 days ago or something. So check that out. It was a fun video. David and I were on camera, which is a rarity for me. You know, but it was fun. It was fun. We did basically we went through all the features of the app. As you can see here, hopefully on your screen, we had the app up, and Dave kind of explained each little feature. We went through piece by piece. It was a fun show. So if you don't know how to use the app, and also the link to this will be in the description as well. And if you don't know how to use the app, don't have the app, get the app for iOS or Google Play, and then check out the features video. There was even things I learned on this video that I didn't know about. Shout out to Anthony Dickinson. I see a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Check out Triu Jitsu on Facebook, Big Time Basher. All right, Anthony, I will do that. Writing that down as we speak. So anyway, yeah, it was a fun show. David and I did, and we'll play that ad one more time at some point in the show, just so you can check it out. Again, this coming Monday, as always, we do Jeranism Monday Night Raw. That's tomorrow, if you want to join us. We would appreciate it. That show is every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 to 11 Eastern. It is the current reigning and defending #1 show on Truth Frequency Radio on Monday nights. So definitely come check it out. Tomorrow we have Sophia Smallstorm joining us, so it'll be more of a health-related conversation, and then we'll also get into some other interesting topics. Definitely check that out if you want, and we'll probably be taking phone calls too. So if you want to give us a call, that will be tomorrow night. Usually that is simulcasted, at least hour one is simulcasted on my Jeranism Raw YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed over there, what is wrong with you? Just simply search Jeranism with the word Raw at the end of it. And that's it. And you'll see a small channel. It only has about 10,000 subs. But subscribe over there. And then you get those hour shows. And then we also do hour 2 over on TFR, where you can listen for free. Still have people who think that TFR costs money, or you said you were going to do videos for free. Why is No, TFR is free. You just have to listen live or within the next week. So the show plays live, and you can listen to it for free. And then for the following week, you can listen to it for free. And then it goes into the archives. And for a cheap price, I want to say it's $10 a month. If you sign up for that, you get all the archives for every show on True Frequency Radio, which includes so much good stuff. I don't know where to start. Rob Skiba, Mark Sargent, Brooks Agnew. I could go on and on. Crow 777, Iron Realm Media. The list goes on and on forever. So anyway, yeah, check that out. And yeah, you get it for $10 a month. And if you sign up under my page, then I get half of that. Or if you sign up under Mark Sargent's page, he'll get half of that. Or if you sign up under Rob Skiba's page, he'll get half of that. But there's lots. Zen Garcia. I don't want to list everybody. There's over 35, I think, hosts of that show or on that radio station. So check it out. It is definitely fun. Let's see here what else we've got for today. Oops, I still have this playing. Let's get rid of that. So check out the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. We were going to discuss Iru's new video. I guess we can watch it for a little bit here. Iru did a recent video on his English channel, Nur for Everyone. If you're not subscribed over there, again, what's wrong with you? Let's check it out real quick here. This is his recent video we were going to discuss, but we'll just watch it since Iru is MIA. So it starts out showing his channel here and his Patreon. Please sign up over there to support Iru if you're not already.
For more than 50 years, the human being have tried to answer one of the most mysterious questions about the moon landings. There is a mission in particular.
I'll probably just talk through it so you don't have to listen to the audio. But basically, he was saying for over 50 years, human beings have tried to answer one particular question. Let's continue.
In particular.
One question in particular.
From Apollo 15, where you can see an astronaut.
It says on Apollo 15, you can see the astronaut trying to grab a tool from the surface of the moon. He's trying to pick up that tool, but there's some mysterious force that's stopping him and not letting him bend over to pick it up. What is going on here? Just one of the many questions that NASA can't answer. Still trying to answer today. No one knows if it's dark energy or what's going on that's keeping him from bending down.
To achieve in the moon is being to be more than 3 seconds on your knees.
It says, why can't you get on your knees for longer than 3 seconds?
But this question, even today, has no answer.
But he says, even today, there's no answer to that question.
Maybe one day, one of our top scientists, or perhaps the more intelligent human, can answer this mysterious question. But until now, this remains in the mystery of the universe.
Certainly it's funny how hard it is for them to just bend over and pick something up. Should be easier, of course.
But there is another event, more disturbing, more mysterious, and more dangerous, that had no answer. There was a mission where we can see one of the Apollo 15 astronauts setting up one of the most difficult tasks in the moon, when some mysterious force are pulling him up directly from his balls to the outer space. Another big mystery from the moon that even today, and I quote Stephen Hawking,
"We don't know what that pulling balls force was, but we can be sure of something. It came from the cosmic background radiation."
End quotations. So what's going on in the moon? There is another force, another way to describe gravity perhaps?
Well, that video is so hilarious. It's to watch it again just because it's too classic to not watch again. Let's check this out. This launch from the moon.
Going on in the moon. There is another force, another way to describe gravity.
If you believe that, by the way, what's wrong with you? Really, you have to think about that. You're just willing to take whatever anybody else says and put it in your pocket of truth. Simply because some scientists agree, simply because it's taught in schools, simply because it's in textbooks, even though we know we've been lied to. We know that they've lied in textbooks. We know that history is a lie. And yet, this mockery, this disgustingness, look at the scattering of the bolts as they fly off this craft. If you buy this, wow. I don't know what else to say.
In the moon, there is another force.
Yep, looks real to me.
Another way to describe gravity, perhaps.
If you believe this,
to describe
what's wrong with you?
Energy, perhaps. But we have something very clear. We have heroes up there.
We have heroes.
With very high quality training. And they are ready to keep walking, even with all this stress. And they had time to get fun between the missions. So we can hear some astronauts singing very happy.
I was strolling on the moon one day in a very, very month of December. May, when much to my surprise, a pair of bunny eyes. Oh, is this a neat way to travel? Isn't it great? I like to skip along, but me, boy, or whatever you call it. I can't get my left leg in front of me.
Dumpty dum 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 dum.
It was almost dangerous. You lose sight of the fact that it's a vacuum out there, and if you spring a leak next to it, you're going to be dead.
But that was not enough for professionals. So we can see dancing at the rhythm of the stars, the nebulas, the Magallanes clouds, the galaxies, the whole complete universe. Well, we cannot see it because it's all black, but we know it's there because our astronauts telling us.
They say so.
And I trust astronauts. Even they had time to play golf, like this guy. This astronaut.
Which is so hilarious too. The story that the golf club that people forget is that it was snuck onto the craft. Isn't that hilarious? They snuck a golf club. NASA didn't know. Just these guys snuck a 9-iron somehow onto the craft, even though all the measurements and the weights and everything needed to be perfect. And well, we just snuck this golf club because we wanted to go to the moon and hit a golf ball. Not throw a football. Not something that you could actually see happen. No, we just want to hit this golf ball from this view. And, I mean, first of all, it's the worst swing in the history of the world. Of course, it would be much easier to swing a golf club on the moon. Much faster. You'd be able to hit a ball 6 times as far, possibly more. Should be able to hit it up there and it just keep going forever. Just Tim Drake, super chat. Wires and dust settling doesn't really compare to the fact no spacesuit has been tested in a perfect vacuum conditions, aka space. Oh yeah, I totally agree. And a lot of this stuff is just so easy just to slow down. I mean, I've shown the moon buggy rover thing many times and shown that when you speed it up to, I don't know, sometimes it's 1.5, 2 speed, or double speed. I mean, one of those speeds in between there just looks perfectly like a dune buggy. You can go, maybe that's, I'm going to actually write that down. It's a video I need to make. I need to show, because I went and looked at dune buggies down at, Pismo Beach, places like that in Southern California where they've got this, these huge sand dunes and these little sand buggies go driving. And what happens is the sand kicks out from behind the tires, makes these kind of arcing patterns. And it's exactly what we see on the moon when sped up to 1.5 or 2 times speed.
Like this guy, this astronaut from Apollo 14, without any worries at all.
There's the time, one more. Miles and miles and miles.
Miles and miles and miles. That golf ball went 20 yards.
Very good now.
So we have to keep working and trying to search scientifically the answer to this mysterious force.
Cleary with the super chat said he sliced it due to the Coriolis effect on the moon. That's true. I believe they were on the northern half, and so in the northern half you'd get a slice. So if I ever played golf on the moon, I'd need to go to the southern hemisphere and hope for a hook. Balance out my slice equals miles and miles of fairway shots.
Maybe one day it's gonna burn the most top intelligent human between us to answer this mysterious question. Until that moment comes, we must be proud of our heroes in the sky.
I am proud. Thank you, Hiro, very much for that. That is a great video. Check out Iru's channel, Nur, N-U-R, for everyone. Also, that link will be in the description. He also has a channel, Nur para Todos, but I don't recommend that channel unless you speak Spanish. I am not too fluent, and so therefore I check out the videos and try and see what he's showing, but it's hard for me to understand. But his channel, Nur for everyone, is definitely worth it. Definitely check that out. It is definitely worth it. So thank you, Ira, for that movie. That was very good, and thank you for joining me today. Oh, wait, Ira's not here. Sorry. Thank you for joining me in spirit, Ira. I do appreciate that. All right, so the topic of today's show, or the title of today's show. By the way, the show is going to be a little bit short. Number one, because Ira's not here, and I planned on him being here and having something to share, but he's not here. I had a few things to share, but not many, but also Missa's got some family in town, and so I'm going to take a short day and go spend it with her family, who there's many of them coming together, some from Australia, not down under, over and across is the correct term, and also some from Montana, and just everybody getting together, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, so this show will be short. Sorry if you had your whole day planned for a Globebusterish show. That will not be happening. But we will see you tomorrow for a fun show with Sophia Smallstorm, and throughout the rest of the week with some more videos coming out. I'll try and do that video, Dune Buggy, Pismo Beach. I also want to do a video. Still need to put together the mirror observations and schedule us to go back down there during the winter to show the difference. And we're seeing those mirror observations from way too far. But again, if you go to Mick West's Metabunk curve calculator, the curve calculator is no longer accurate when viewing long distances over water close to the horizon, even though that's exactly what we've been saying proves it. And we've heard the Mick West video on this very channel where Mick West says the reason that he had to add that was because of the long distance lasers and mirror observations, which makes no sense. Well, of course, I mean, it makes sense in the fact that when people are seeing too far, you have to come up with something, so you're just able to put a little note at the bottom. Oh, this curve calculator, the Earth curve calculator, isn't accurate when it comes to these observations that disprove it. Think about that one for a second. Certainly interesting. All right, so the reason this video is titled Jeranism Sunday Live, Seeing Stars, is because there's an awesome video and by an awesome guy who I've met before. I did a launch with him. If you are looking for the best high-altitude balloon videos that there is only one person that you can reference, and that's Dwayne Kellum. He's still, what is he at? 6.2 thousand subscribers. He needs much more than that. This link will be in the description. You need to subscribe to Dwayne Kellum. He's done tons of balloons. In this one, we're going to be looking at high altitude balloon number 24, which I believe just came out today. Yeah. It's already got about 776 views. Need some more, and we'll get plenty more after this video. I'm sure people will love to go check this out. Something that flat earthers have said, it's been a question on a lot of people's minds, is whether or not we can see stars. Why in balloon launches do we not see stars when we get up? Well, that has been answered. We do see stars. Certainly appears. Dwayne has an awesome camera, a new Sony A7S II. He also sent it up with a GoPro Hero 4 Black. Dwayne's camera, the way he does his launches, he keeps all the statistics on the screen. And I guess he's going to be doing a documentary. So I'm going to let him tell us about that right from the start here. Let's go ahead and listen to Dwayne. Or try.
What's up, everyone? Dwayne Kellum here. This will be a short update on what I've been doing since my last video. I've completed 6 flights since High Altitude Balloon 18 and will be putting together a video documentary. I will be including data and video from all 6.
Look at, he sent up a Sputnik. Pretty cool. No, but I've seen Dwayne do this myself. He came over my house, assembled his thing on my kitchen table. This is not my kitchen table. This is, I think I did balloon launch 4 with him or something like that, balloon launch 6. But I've seen how he does it. There is no question to me that everything that he's showing is quite legit. He's very specific about what he puts on his thing, how he keeps the weight down. Thank you. We got a super chat from Baller Dave. Jaron, way are you so dumb? Baller Dave needs to learn to spell. Check out the latest episode of the Flat Earth Podcast if you want to hear Baller Dave, who is just annoying as all hell. So my question to Baller Dave is, why are you so annoying? Why do you have a sock puppet account? Anyway. But there's several reasons I'm so dumb. By the way, Dave, Baller Dave. What is that face? I'm trying to see that, but it's a little too small for me to see. That is not Baller Dave. I've seen Baller Dave before. He's much uglier. Anyway, let's continue. So it's exciting that he has a documentary, not Baller Dave, but Dwayne Kellum, to kind of put all this stuff together. And when you see this video, you're going to be amazed. It's pretty impressive. Again, it only has 776 views, just released today. So it's going to be cool to see what he's got to say about it. Let's continue.
6 flights in the documentary. But for now, I will be uploading footage from Flight 24. Flight 24 was the second time that I used my new camera, the Sony A7S II. It records very well in low light. The first time,
and you can tell that he's so good at doing this because he's setting up a very expensive camera. So he's got to be very sure. He uses a double redundancy. Is that redundant? Double redundancy? I don't know. Uses a very specific way to make sure he doesn't lose the balloon. The one I launched with him actually was lost for a little while. It fell into a field that we couldn't get to, and we had to find the owner. And but at least we knew where it was. We were getting a GPS signal from it, and we're able to locate it.
Time I used the camera, I set the controls on autofocus. The autofocus couldn't keep up with the fast motion that was taking place on the flight, and a lot of the footage was out of focus. On this flight, I set the camera to manual focus.
So what he just showed was a previous flight where the stars were really out of focus, but this time, boy, did he get it right.
And I set the focus to infinity. I got good results, and I decided to go ahead and upload this video. I didn't originally set out to do 6 flights for my documentary, but I wanted to confirm my findings before completing the documentary. For now, check out the stars. I'm very pleased with how this camera has performed. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.
So I'll turn this down a little bit. You'll see he has a little flashing light on it, so he goes by all the rules. When you launch a balloon at night, you have to have that flashing red light. There's a specific pattern it has to be in and a length of time. This is what I was talking about. You can see all of the exact metrics for date, time, battery voltage, latitude, longitude, airspeed, vertical speed, heading, humidity, and then you've got some important stuff over here. The temperature outside is always interesting. The altitude in meters, altitude in feet, and the distance traveled. So we can see it just got off the ground here at 500 feet, and we can see the stars quite clearly. Beautiful. Over here in his little box here, he's got the GoPro Hero 4 Black, but I believe that he'll release that video later. But here it goes, and yeah, unbelievable view. So this video is 2 hours and 42 minutes. Of course, we're not going to be able to watch all that, but we'll kind of skip ahead here a little bit. We're now at 11,000 feet. Crazy to see the lights below, and you can compare this if you want to the NASA footage, to launch footage. You can compare it to what you're supposed to be, or what supposedly is from the ISS. And of course, whether or not we can see stars in space, which is a huge question still, and I'll play a little bit of a video for that. So we're at 12,000 feet now. We're going to move forward a little bit. Again, also, you're watching this secondhand, so it's not going to be as pretty for you as it is if you go and actually watch this video. So definitely you're going to need to do that in your own time. And like I said, the link to both Dwayne's channel and this video will be in the description. So please check it out. Give him some love. Subscribe to his channel. He's doing better work than anybody else in the high altitude balloon category. And he's got a documentary coming soon. So hopefully it's translating. I can't really tell what you can see. Actually, I can go watch over there, but no, I can't watch. If I click off this, then you'll be watching what I see. So this is being viewed secondhand, obviously. I'm watching it on YouTube as you are, and I'm just screen capturing this. So we're at 22,000 feet. Let's skip ahead a little bit, see where we go here. We're now at 33,000 feet, so about, commercial airliner height. Definitely seeing stars quite easily. A little dizzying. Let's move forward a little bit more. We're now at 41,000 feet. Still seeing stars quite easily. And again, the question has been, once you get up to a certain height, why aren't we seeing stars? Well, it appears that he's got his camera set correctly. Why NASA cannot set their camera to do this live? Hey, I'll never know. Dwayne Kellum needs to get in contact with NASA and tell them what they need to set their camera at, because obviously the $56 million a day is not cutting it. So whatever Dwayne is, spending on each of his balloon launches is enough to set his camera correctly, but NASA needs Dwayne's help. Let's continue a little bit forward here. We're at 42,000 feet now. We're at 49,000 feet. We're about an hour into the video here. Crazy clarity. And, the only thing you could hope for is that it wasn't so spinny. Is that a word? But sometimes it does level out here in a little bit, and we can see amazingly far. Let's move forward here. Where are we at? We're now at 57,000 feet. Again, what it looks like to me is when you get off into the distance here, you just get the atmosphere blends in. You can't see, there's no horizon line. Once you get up that high, you can see here, I mean, this just kind of blends in. We've seen the work that J. Tolan Media has done. Sorry if my mouse is in the way. You can see the lights easily below from 57,000 feet. Yes, the ISS is supposedly, 10 times higher? Well, than when this balloon gets to its highest. But, of course, there's no stars seen, no lights on the Earth seen from any of NASA's cameras from the live view, but this is quite live. At least, could be live if he was able to connect down to the Earth, but NASA should be able to do that with their millions. Again, I want to see this GoPro Hero 4 Black. It's really pretty. Look at all those stars. That's unbelievable. Let's skip forward a little bit. And again, right now we're at 58,000 feet. You're now down to negative 53 degrees Fahrenheit. The balloon has traveled 29 miles. Let's skip forward a little bit here. So really clear as you get up here. Doesn't make any sense that you wouldn't have seen stars from the surface of the moon, as we've heard, or that you would see just a field of black when you're out doing a spacewalk. Why wouldn't they be this brilliant and clear, especially when you get up above the atmosphere? So we're at 66,000 feet. Let's jump up a little bit more here. We're now at 71,000 feet. Again, hopefully you guys aren't getting too dizzy. But you can see here that we're just losing everything. Everything just gets faded in as you go further. Let's go up a little bit more. Now at 78,000 feet. So crazy that you can see all these lights below, but ISS cannot see any lights on the Earth. Doesn't make sense to me. And I showed last week, if you go back and watch last week's video, I show myself going outside with just my iPhone and easily able to see the ISS, or whatever that light is, so-called ISS. Wow, that shot right there is, I couldn't really pause it there, but some of those shots are amazing. This is off the coast of California. Well, not off the coast when you're seeing out that direction. We're looking out into the ocean. But he's about 100 miles, maybe 100 miles inland from the Pacific Ocean when he launches. And I haven't had a chance, like I said, this video was just released today, so I haven't had a chance to go through and kind of spot out what we're seeing. But usually you can see from, right there would be very northern California, if not past Northern California, down south past LA. Seeing too far than you should. We've pointed that out before. We're now at 80,000 feet. Let's skip forward a little bit. We're also going to see the sunrise here in a second. Oh, they're getting kind of close. Or at least seeing the start of it. But this is pretty incredible footage. And again, I don't think anybody does a better job than Dwayne Kellum at these high-altitude balloon shots. I haven't seen anything this clear as far as the stars go. And again, you're going to have a lot of people, ballers, saying, oh, well, this is a sphere. What you're seeing here is a sphere. And again, they don't understand that whether the Earth was a ball, whether the Earth was flat, we can only see in a circle. That's how you can see. Your eyesight, your eye line is the radius of a circle. And so what you're seeing may be what a circle would look like, but we've seen before, there's been people on, Ask an Astrophysicist site or whatever that say that on a flat Earth you would see exactly the same thing that you can see on the so-called sphere, it being so large that we see in a circle. You're not seeing the edge of the ball Earth. Also, a horizon is a theoretical position, not an actual location. You can look that up yourself if you want. Look up horizon. And you'll see that it's theoretical. It's, the apparent line where the sky meets the earth. But again, when you look at, we'll go real quick and just check something else out, and we'll go back to that. In like this video here, whereas, you can see when we get up the same height, watch what this camera does when you're talking about a different camera. When you can see when this camera bends down, you get this, this is what everybody thinks is the curvature of the earth. And this way you get the U, this way you get the N. What I mean by that is, when you have this shape here, an N, and then this shape here, all based on the camera itself. So you can see the U, then the N. Now it's going to bend back. And you can actually see the land features themselves bending. U, N. And you can actually watch these features as they bend out. Well, you got to be looking down a little bit more. We'll see it as it gets closer here. But you can actually see these features wrap around. See, you can see this, and then it will wrap out. Well, of course, we know that's not what's happening. This is all lens effects. And then it's going to fall down. But anyway, just wanted to show you. And again, you can see it when it takes off here. So, this is somebody, how high is this balloon? Just launched. See here? Okay, so this balloon just launched. Maybe it's 500 feet there. Maybe it's 1,000 feet there. Play it out a little bit more. But, how high is this? It's not high at all. But yet, you can see the horizon bending. Well, now we've got concave Earth. But what you'll get on the mainstream news and everything is they'll capture this screen here and say the Earth is curved. Again, the camera is up above that horizon line, and just the way that the camera works, the way our iris works, the way our eyes work, the spherical nature of our eyes are going to give that bend. But again, people will claim this. They'll shoot this and say, well, the Earth is clearly curved. The Earth is clearly a ball. And you can see that it just bends that horizon in there. You can say, well, now what's going on here? Why is it a U? But again, we're not even very high here. So when we get up here, the same thing is happening. Sorry, up here. As you can see the U. And then bend this down to the N. Thank you very much, Michael Pomeroy with a super chat. Appreciate that. Michael, thank you so much. All right, let's go back to Dwayne's video and watch some more of that. So again, just the nature of the way the camera works, we're seeing a lot of that same kind of thing, not as much. He's not using this is the GoPro here in this black screen. You might not be able to see it at all because it's very dark. Look at that shot. Pretty unbelievable. I did see in the comments somebody said that he caught a shooting star. I couldn't see it, but again, I didn't look for very long. I thought they said right coming up here in a second, 140, I don't remember where it was, 144, 143. But I went to that mark but couldn't really see what they were showing. But this is incredible to see this. A lot of people thought when you get to the height of airplanes that we lose stars. But obviously the setting he has at infinity with his camera, you're able to easily see the lights on the ground. You're able to easily see the stars. I'd be interested to see if this GoPro Hero 4 Black also showed stars at all. It doesn't look like it. I can't tell. But this is amazing. This is what Globebusters wanted to do a while back, and we lost our camera. We had 2 night scopes on there, $400 cameras each. But that thing has never been found. It is lost in a tree somewhere, I'm sure, somewhere in Colorado or next to Colorado. But, yeah, we never got that back, unfortunately. So we're at 91,000 feet here. We'll skip forward a little bit. We're now at 96,000 feet. I'll let you watch this for 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. Back. So what are we at now? 97,000 feet. You know, I see a lot of other balloons. You know, the one we just watched, this one here, got to 80,000 feet before it popped. And, of course, they're showing a bend like this. That's what happens with GoPro cameras. It's what happens with any camera, which I've tried to show before, that even my GoPro Hero 5 Session, which, by the way, is the first camera that had linear mode. So even in the GoPro Hero 4, there is no way to not have a fisheye lens. But even with my camera, the GoPro Hero 5 Session, even on linear mode, I've showed before that there's still a bending. Even when you look at a straight line on your on your computer screen, or you look at a straight line in your garage, anything like that, there's still a curve, and that's the way it works whenever you're trying to do a wide angle view like our eyes. Hard to explain, but you know, if you go out and look at a beach, obviously the longest distance you can see is straight in front of you. That's the radius of a circle. And if you kind of glance to the left and right, you're going to see the edges pulled back. Just the way your eyes work. It's a requirement. But you can see this is another spherical camera, obviously. Fisheye view. You can see these. We've seen these kind of views before, where it's just taking everything that it can see and wrapping it up in a ball. And can we pause it here? And you can see people will take these views and say, oh, that's the ball Earth. Let's go back to the high altitude view. We're at 98,000 feet. Let's skip forward a little bit. Now at 105,000 feet. And like I said, Dwayne does a tremendous job at getting much higher than other balloons are making it. So again, you know, this camera is above that line, and it's got a slight hook to it, but this is not a circle. It's not a sphere Earth. And again, you could take that out and say, oh, now it's a U. In this direction here, we're just seeing a blending of the atmosphere with the ground below it. Certainly amazing views. We're at 106,000 feet. Let's pop forward a little bit here. This is 114,000 feet. Again, we're still able to see the stars almost more clearly as we get up. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that the moon is above here too. I could be wrong about that. I thought I saw the moon earlier. Again, that's what I said. I need to do more. Look at that. It's unbelievable. I need to do a more in-depth look at this. It just came out today, so it's going to take a little bit more time to see and talk to Dwayne about what he thinks we're looking at here. Obviously, where the sun is the east. It's pretty easy to figure out. And when you're looking the opposite direction, you know, here, we're looking west ocean here. What is that? It's weird. Yeah, so now we're at 115,000 feet. Amazing. Yeah. I just got a Venmo from Damon, who said, I vote give Dwayne $1 million of NASA's $56 million a day. Yeah, me too. We actually get real video from Dwayne. Yeah, I totally agree. And again, this stuff is as real as it gets, because, you know, I've seen Dwayne do this. Came over to my house and we launched a balloon together. The only bad part about that was my GoPro Hero 5 didn't last longer than, I think, like an hour. It didn't, for some reason, transfer onto the battery pack that we had put onto it, and just died. But yeah, when you get up higher, you can see the temperature is negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit here. Your battery doesn't last as long, so we have to put a secondary battery on it, and for some reason my GoPro that night didn't transfer. You can clearly see the ground below. We're at 115,000 feet. Again, the ISS is supposedly 10 times as high, but we can see no stars in any of the footage. And also you can see no ground lights in any of the footage, and we can look at that here shortly. Let's go forward a little bit. I think we're getting close to the top. Yeah, right here we're at 119,000 feet, which is about, what, 23 miles or thereabouts. Incredible views. That is the Pacific Ocean. We're looking now down south. After you get about here, you can start to see where is this exactly? Where, if this is LA, can't really tell. Again, I'd have to look at it a little more closely. This is looking off to the east. You can see that mixture of day and night, which is awesome as the sun comes around, if that's what you want to call it. He's at 120,000 feet right now. Just hit 120. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. So you can see this is the part I was talking about where the camera does kind of steady out a little bit. You get this blending out here at the horizon. Of course, the theoretical position. Negative 36 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature he's got. It's flying about 66 miles an hour. Really unbelievable. 120,000 feet, and I believe we're getting close to Popville. So we'll skip forward a little bit. 120, I don't know if he hits 121. We'll see. But you got to check out this video. That's the moral of the story. Maybe just saw a shooting star there. I'm not sure. But this is incredible. I can't wait to see. And he just keeps getting better and better at doing this. So it looks like we're getting real. I don't want to fast forward any because I believe we're at 121,000. And there it popped. And so that will just make everybody dizzy. So excellent job, Dwayne. Thank you for letting me show that. And yeah, love your work. I'm sure everybody does. Please subscribe to his channel. Simply, can people see that? Dwayne Kellum, yeah. D-W-A-Y-N-E and last name K-E-L-L-U-M. He describes exactly what he was using, where he launched from, what time he launched from, and then you can go ahead and check out some of the comments, which are really very good. Somebody says where it says, somebody says you shot a beautiful shooting star. A lot of people pointing to timestamps for the Big Dipper. Really cool. Awesome work. So, it makes me ask the question, as always, as to why astronauts get confused about whether or not we can see stars in space. Let's watch a portion of one of my videos, past videos, just so we can hear how confused they all are.
Stars. Can we or can't we see them from space? I mean, being that we cannot get the answers ourselves, we need you, the astronauts, who are paid by us to tell us the truth. And here's something that no one seems to understand. In space exploration, which is funded by the people of the world, and where it is not possible to have independent witnesses of the actual events, we as people have every right to expect the record to be 100% genuine, honestly portrayed, and honestly represented. So I ask you again, can we see stars in space? Let's ask some astronauts.
Whilst
From
in
Mark
space,
Cameron. This is from Mark Cameron.
Whilst in space, have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Yeah.
All
because
the
you
time.
can see. Because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
Yeah. It's not a black void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
There's all the stars there.
Okay, so we've got both Mike Massimo and Pettit telling us that we can see stars in space. We can see them both on the nighttime side of Earth, the daytime side of Earth. We can always see them. Let's continue.
And the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
Yeah, you can, and there's more than stars. You can see planets. You can
Right.
see moons.
You see the gas Magellan clouds of the Milky
you
Way
see
galaxy.
the Magellanic Clouds.
Magellanic. See, I was.
All right, interesting. So we can see stars from the day side or the night side of Earth. Got
We
you.
went up and when you're in space and you're looking into deep space and you're on the sun side of the orbit, the sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars, just like here on Earth. But then when you look out into deep space away from the sun, it's the darkest black you can imagine.
You can't see any of the stars when you're on the daylight side of Earth. And if you look away from the sun, it's just the blackest you can imagine. But there's no atmosphere blocking you. So why wouldn't you be able to see the stars from both the daylight side of Earth and the night side of Earth? Doesn't make any sense. Why is the sun washing out stars if there's no atmosphere?
Right, and so what happens is you really lose your depth perception. You can't tell if something's close by or far away, and so
Because you can see, because you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
It's not a black void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
There's all the stars there, and the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
Yeah, you can. And
the sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars, just like here on Earth. But then when you look out into deep space away from the sun, it's the darkest black you can imagine, right?
Like, are they just brighter than on Earth, or how would you describe it?
They're brighter, but they're different. A lot of things different about them. One, you don't have the atmospheric distortion, so they don't twinkle, right? So you see lots of points, and you see lots of points, and that literally millions of them. There's the thing about Carl Sagan, billions of stars. There really are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them. In fact, they're so numerous, it's very difficult to pick out the constellations you and I see here on the ground.
If stars were what they tell us and they're the distances that they are and that light travels in a vacuum the way that they tell us, the entire sky would be white. Just think about that.
Mr. Armstrong, I do realize that when you were on the moon, you had very little time for gazing upwards. But could you tell us something about what the sky actually looks like from the moon, the sun, the earth, the stars, if any, and so on?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon. The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although there have been some reports of seeing planets. I myself did not see planets from the surface, but I suspect they might be visible.
So he's talking about cislunar space, which is the distance between the Earth and the moon, and says that the only thing visible is the Earth and the sun, that you can't see stars. Some people may have reported seeing planets. He didn't see any. Why wouldn't you see what these guys are saying they see, which is millions of polka dots? There's billions of them. Why
You
can't
can see, says you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see.
And the problem is that you've got two ends of the spectrum here. You've got Neil speaking about it, and you've got these astronauts today, and they've had to kind of get their story straight, but there is no way to get the story straight when you have one astronaut years ago saying you can't see stars, but then you've got people like Neil deGrasse saying that we should be able to see stars, even on the day side of Earth, that it should be brilliant, there should be millions of polka dots, so you can't really rectify it. You have some people saying, well, we can't see stars. You have some people saying we can.
Stars.
It's not a black void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
The Earth is the only visible object other than the sun that can be seen, although...
So you see lots of points, and you see lots of points, and that literally millions of them. There's...
The sunlight washes out all the starlight, so you can't see any stars, just like here on Earth. But then when you look out into deep space away from the sun, it's the darkest black you can imagine, right?
The sky is a deep black when viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon.
And there's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
You see the gas Magellan clouds of the Milky Way
you see
galaxy.
the Magellanic Clouds.
Magellanic. See, I was.
So, Sergey, I mean, I have to ask people.
So, yeah, and you can, find in other people's videos that have done studies on this as well. There's a lot more astronauts saying the same thing, confusing the same thing. And you've got people like Neil deGrasse saying that, whoa, well, the great thing is we can see the stars. You know, and we could find that easy if we look that up. Let's see here, Neil deGrasse. Stars. Maybe in there somewhere. Stars in space. Try that. I didn't have that queued up for you. It was on Joe Rogan, I believe. Let's try, can we see stars in space? And of course, you've got all these other channels trying to answer it. Why can't you see stars on the moon? You got these stars from the space station, which of course are not live. You know, I've shown many times before how the live videos show nothing of the sort. Let's go to Ustream. 1 second here. Let me get this on. I'm showing you the wrong thing because you're seeing a YouTube video. Oops. Ustream ISS. So we'll go to the Ustream. Let me switch for you so you can see better. Browser. There we go. We got the blue screen. Imagine that. So again, you know, we don't see any stars in space when it's looking out past the, you know, the limb of the Earth. Even as this gets, I never know why it's purple. But even after you can see past the limb, quiet down. We don't see any stars out here, even though it should be quite easy to show a camera with stars. We don't see any lights on the Earth. Well, usually they cut the stream, but who knows what that is. That's just some artifact. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But you can see as it gets dark, as it gets light, you never see lights on the Earth. You never see any stars, which should be readily visible. But I think that'd be just too hard for them to fake. And this view here is just ridiculous to me. So clearly something that could be done on a backdrop, and I'll show you, you know, this view here, where they've got this craft here blocking some view. You've got this. Let me show you from last week. You know, Eero showed this part of the video. We'll press play here, and you'll be able to see some of the work that they did. You know, when you've got these kind of sphere models with this track, it'd be very easy to project the Earth. R.J. Cooper, thank you very much. I mean, look at this view. So, you know, this is a studio. This is not anything other than a rolling screen projecting some view of what the moon they think looks like onto this screen. And then, so it's the same thing. If you just have this craft instead, let's see here, I don't want to mess that up here. You know, if you have this craft here instead, and then you've got the Earth playing on a screen rolling by, it's the same thing. It'd be that easy. So you've got that, and you've got the ISS stream going here. So it's that easy to have this screen with this contraption here. I think it proves nothing. And again, when it gets dark, it's just going to cut out the video. Of course, you can't see any stars back here. Okay, so here we go. We can kind of show. Yeah, so you'll see as it gets dark, all the lights go away. There's nothing down here. It actually even looks like a filter, this little cloud filter. You can see it moving. Terminator line, there's nothing ever seen from the ISS on the Earth over here. And it will just get dark here. Now you'd think the sun had set, but then, I mean, what does just happen there? See? That's why I get frustrated when I go to this thing, because you'd have to watch it all day just to see the nonsense. So we're watching this, and I just want to watch from this point and see what happens. Does this slowly peter out? What's lighting up this? So the sun is set on the Earth, but still somehow lighting up this side of the craft. Not really sure. By the way, this is playing. As you can see, I don't have it paused. But there's just so much wrong. I don't want to move forward at all because I'm afraid I'll miss it again. What are we at? 130. I'm just going to let it play out here. It's just such crap to me. You know, and again, a lot of people want to call this proof. There's a lot of people that think that the ISS is proof that the Earth is everything that they say it is, that space is everything they say it is, that we can exist next to, so there, I guess that's the sun setting very quickly on the station. I don't know. We don't see anything below. No lights. This will just stay black. It'll go to blue screen for some stupid reason. Again, why does it even go to that screen? I don't know. People want to say that it's no longer in connection with the Earth, as if, but they're the same people who tell me satellites exist. Well, why wouldn't you just be able to beam that signal right back? I don't know. You know, to me, it's very easy to put that onto that screen that we were just looking at here. It's the same. You just play it at a certain speed. You can see I'm doing it here. So, you know, and then you would have it here, and this could be the edge of your Earth. It'd be very easy for them to do. That's the sad part about it all, is that it would be so easy to fake. It's in a place we can't go, which is just crazy to me that people just buy into this, especially when we see how bad the work is of them being, you know, supposedly on the moon or flying in space, when we see that it looks identical to something hanging from wires. You know, they couldn't land this thing on Earth. Here we go. This is the video I was going to try and show. Yeah, so we got these things with this black backdrop. You see I mean, this is exactly what they showed. Hopefully, if you guys haven't seen this yet, this is last week's Globebusters, or I'm sorry, last week's Jeranism Sunday Live. Whoops, what happened here? I'll try and get you a better view. That's... Why is that not working? Okie dokie. There we go. So I mean, here we can see that it all is the same as these mechanical motions. It's so clearly identical. It shouldn't be a question. And people want to believe it, even though we see him doing it with the black backdrop. I rewound it a little bit just so we can see this. Again, there you go. So if you're able to do this, be quite easy to do and tell everybody, oh, this is going on in space. And really, we've gotten nothing new or better from NASA from what they've showed us. It's the same BS. And who knows if they're going to get better for this supposed moon landing 2024. You know, I've already voiced, if you've seen my movie, that I think that it will just be delayed again. And they keep doing this. So, I mean, we can be proven right over and over again. And it's not going to matter. People will just always make excuses for NASA. They will always make excuses for space, no matter what. It's just something that's very easy for them to get away with. They're just going to keep saying, because people love it so much. People are addicted to space. Every alien movie, Interstellar, Gravity. There's a new one coming out. I can't remember the name of it. I've seen the previews for it. Yeah, so check out this video from last week. It is called Jeranism Sunday Live with Iru Landucci. That was from July 21st, 2019. And check it out, because we kind of go into depth on some of these and just show. I mean, this could not be more fabricated. And once you've seen some of this stuff, to simply believe, oh no, this is a video being taken in space next to the moon, when you just realize it's just the screen that we just looked at, the moon screen. There's the moon screen going by with this thing hanging from the rafters, being pulled in directions with its mechanical motions, definitely on wires, certainly not in space. You don't ever see any blasts coming out of this thing that would turn it in directions. There's no reason this thing can turn in different directions. Where is it shooting out its blast? Where its propulsion? There is none. Why? Because it's hanging from wires. It's in a warehouse. And so once you realize that you've been lied to about that, I mean, look at this thing. I mean, you know, you showed here that this is how they drop out of the back of a plane, these little pods. They do it for testing, and people just want to say, yeah, but I saw the pod come back into the water, into the ocean. I saw it happen. Yeah, well, if from the ground, you would not see that until it got close to the ground, and then you'd say, oh, there's the pod, there's the Apollo astronauts coming back from space. The ease that it would have taken to fake all this and convince everybody that it actually happened, that these people went to space and they flew 238,000 miles at 25,000 miles per hour and came back and went through the atmosphere and dropped down, the parachutes opened, and they landed softly in the ocean. It's just ridiculous. It's just sickening to me that people believe it. Again, the good thing about my channel is if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, Jaron, you're crazy, I believe it, I think everything that, then that's fine. You can believe it. Go right ahead. Up to you. You can believe what you want. You don't have to believe a thing I say. You don't have to agree with what I say. I'm just giving you my opinion. That I think this stuff is way too easy to fake, and it certainly appears fake. The fact that they've never gone back. The fact that Nixon and all these presidents knew how much we needed heroes at that time. The fact he was trying to hide what was going on in Vietnam. It was a great story to get Americans' eyes off of what was going on in the war zone. And it gave people heroes, and these people have all had heroes. And the way you spread it out to, 400,000 employees, which is not the way that you would direct a moon mission at all. You'd keep it very close, tight-knit, right? You'd have just a few people working on different elements. You wouldn't pass it out and say, okay, we need these 400,000 people all contributing one piece or another. But when you do that, then everybody knew somebody who worked on the Saturn V, for example. So, anyway, I know we talked about a lot of that last week. I talked about how my brother was on the ship that threw Osama bin Laden off. And again, when you do that, you've got everybody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can say my brother was on that ship. But when you ask him and say, well, did you see anything? Well, no, I saw a helicopter land. Well, did you see him take the box out? Well, no, we were all put on lockdown. You're put on lockdown? Why? Oh, because they wanted to give him a proper burial at sea. Osama bin Laden. It makes no sense. And again, there's those people that just accept that and say it makes sense, of course. And there's the people like me that say, wait, I got a problem with this. But it's up to you. Great thing about my channel is you can believe whatever you want. There's a lot of people like Carlos out there that still believes in a sphere Earth, but watches every show I do for some reason. But again, you can believe whatever you want, Carlos. You can believe that DirecTV satellites, prove everything that you want them to prove. It's okay. I don't mind. To me, they can be easily explained away, and all of what they present us can be easily faked. The fact that we drive around in our cars and we think that GPS is receiving signals from 22,000 miles away through the atmosphere, and it knows where you're at, even though the speed of light would be changing through the clouds and everything. But no, it knows, when it just makes more sense that we're using trilateration through cell towers. It's a much smaller signal that needs to be sent. It's not video. You're not streaming video. You're not talking to somebody. You simply have a device that can receive its location based on the fact that when you have three locations, if you know the distance away from three different towers, you can always figure out exactly where that device is. Easily. VW Blue Sky, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, great show, Jaron. Thank you for your insight. Appreciate that. But yeah, it'll be a short show today. I'm going to wrap it up here pretty quickly, and then I got a long drive to Monterey. 2.5 hours. Should be fun. Hopefully there's something good to watch or good to listen to. But again, yeah, check out that video from last Sunday, and I'll put a link to that. All these links, as always, will be in the description. As soon as I finish the show, I'll gather up these links. You'll be able to check out Dwayne Kellum's high-altitude balloon launch with the stars finally being able to be seen quite clearly, which I think is amazing. I think a lot of people will do some research into this and come up with some interesting tidbits of information, I being one of them. Also want to talk to Dwayne about what his documentary is going to be about. Maybe he can join me on the show coming up so he can talk about that. I think people would enjoy that. And also, it'd be great to have him on just to talk about how he does these launches. Maybe some people out there are interested in doing the same. And I think he's the one to go to. If I was going to launch a balloon today, I would certainly go to Dwayne and get his exact specifications for every element of that launch. I think to do anything else would be not very intelligent. So, yeah, go to this ISS Ustream. We showed this last week as well. Sometimes they just show nonsense, like as if this is what we want to pay to see here. Thank you very much for that screen. Just hilarious. Just funny stuff. And then you can also go to where it says other channels, and then there's the HD viewing experiment. Oh, is there a new screen? What is going on here? Oh, I've never seen this screen before. Wow. Wow. How far back does this go? Oh, goodness. Look at what we're getting here. They have no video up. I mean, this is just sickening. Oh, yeah, you're not really seeing the right screen. Sorry. Let me bring it over here so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is a new screen I haven't seen before. The high-definition Earth viewing experiment is currently experiencing technical difficulties. We are attempting to restore the video as soon as possible. So they only have 2 live streams from so-called the ISS or the space, and one of them is completely not working. Is this the whole thing? They just have 3 hours of this screen. Yep. Doesn't even change out. No. So they're really struggling here. This is, as you can see, each of these is 3 hours. 21 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 15, 12, 9. And then you can search, 342, 1242, 942. Why is this one shorter? Let's see, this is 735. There's only 2 hours rather than 3, but it's the same thing the whole time. So, I mean, if there's one thing we can say is we're getting our money's worth. That's, you can't disagree with that. Clearly getting your money's worth. $56 million a day. You should be happy. I would look into figuring out a way to spend more, if possible. I think that NASA deserves at least double that. You get a lot of people that say, I don't know, they have these websites, give a penny to NASA or something, because they say that they only get a half a penny of each dollar of the U.S. tax money, and they think that NASA deserves a penny. So I think we should up what they're getting by double, because clearly $56 million is providing us with this graphic, which, again, is this real or is this fake? Fake, right? But people can easily determine that, but then they'll say, oh, but the live views, those are real. Well, how do you know that? How far back is this, guys? Yeah, they've just been out of commission forever. For a long time. Weeks. Where are we at? Tuesday? At least a week. So I don't know what happened. The camera broke. It's just sickening. But at least it doesn't say, what does this screen say? This screen's different. This one, it's funny because we made fun of this last week, and I'm wondering if, I don't want to think that way. Sometimes I like to think that they are watching us and making changes. But I mean, this is funny because before it said, please stand by. The high definition Earth viewing experiment is either switching cameras, which we made fun of because it deserves to be made fun of. Just think of what this is, 2019. Think of any live sporting event you watch, any live anything that you watch. You can switch cameras instantaneously. Instant. It's very simple to do. You don't need to put up a graphic that says we are currently switching cameras. What do you mean switching cameras? You mean going from one feed to the other? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Just switch the view to the other camera. Well, I don't understand. Is there like actual physical people who have to move the cameras from one place to another? Hey, Jim, we're about to go live from camera view number 2. All right, give me a few seconds. Put up that graphic. I'm going to swing this camera. But it's not like it ever switched cameras. It's the same camera. So this is just bullshit, as Eru would say. or we are experiencing a temporary loss of signal. Those are the two options. So the two options, either you don't have a signal from the ISS, so it's just going in orbit of the Earth, and you don't have a signal from it. It's just on its own. What if there's some bit of space junk you need to steer around? What a joke. Those are the two options, huh? It's either switching cameras or we are experiencing a temporary loss of signal. But since we did that show last week, they've now switched the graphic to something new. Now the graphic says, the high-definition Earth viewing experiment is currently experiencing technical issues. We are attempting to restore the video as soon as possible. Well, it doesn't appear that way. I don't know how hard it is to put a camera on the craft, point it at the Earth, turn it on 24 hours a day. But we go offline for 40 minutes every 90 minutes. Just turn it on. The people of this Earth that supply NASA with every single penny it's ever received deserve, at the very least, a live view from space, considering you put a craft there 19 years ago and it's in orbit of the Earth nonstop. Why wouldn't the people of Earth deserve a 24/7 video feed from space of the Earth? Why? There's no answer to that question unless you're a NASA fanboy and you say, well, they don't need to do things for you guys. They're up there doing medical breakthroughs. Haven't you seen the cures of cancer and diabetes because of what the ISS has been doing? No, I haven't. Haven't seen those cures yet. Haven't seen NASA provide anything. Even if you look at a Velcro, Teflon, just a bunch of made-up stuff. Stuff that doesn't even make sense. Well, Jaron, don't you know a NASA engineer invented the microwave? Oh, so if it wasn't for NASA, there would never be a microwave. Nobody would have ever invented it. It's because of space and moon landings and Saturn trips and satellites that we can microwave our food. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. But again, these are the kind of things I get. These are the kind of responses I get. So this is just disgusting. Didn't expect to see this nonsense, so we can't even look at that one. And if we go back to, oh yeah, I did this last time. Well, let me go back. Let's go to other channels. And where is this is the other live ISS string. And you get the magenta videos, and this is high quality. You get the purple videos.
Temperature is above the dew point, so you do have a go and step.
Don't know what they're talking about. Oh yeah, we saw this one. So anyway, believe what you want, trust what you want, support what you like, or it goes away. Unless it's NASA, then if you just get to support it automatically, they take it out of your tax money, and this is what you get. So easily taken from high altitude planes, easily taken from balloons. I don't know what they use to do it. But they certainly don't want to show us things that can be proven with real time. With like lights, you could look at Dwayne's. The only thing Dwayne's away from, or the only thing he still needs to do is figure out a way to stabilize it. But I don't even know if that's possible with the technology that we can use. Obviously, if NASA has some craft up there, some plane up there, some stabilized balloon up there, they'd be able to do it, but not somebody who's just blowing up a big weather balloon and sending it up. So let's watch one more time this awesome ad, and then we're going to go. I got a long drive in front of me. Not looking forward to it. Trying to stall. Let's go to here and get this ad up for you real quick. All right, let's watch this one more time before we go. Enjoy.
In the early days of space exploration, boys and girls across the planet dreamed of going to space. Anything was possible, from satellites to rockets. If they dreamed it, we built it, limited only by our imaginations. Young Timmy didn't need to wonder about where he lived. From television to the classroom, we told him what to think.
What do you think?
Ah, the early days of space propaganda. Today, things have gotten a little more sophisticated.
Just work the water up through to the end.
I'll spread the peanut butter on my sandwich. And then I'll get my jelly ready.
Who needs to wonder about where they live when you have the Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock app at your fingertips? A dynamic new app for teaching family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the days. The moon measures the months. The stars, the zodiac, measures the years. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app with new added features. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Amazing backgrounds. Or add your own. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Now with moon data phase percentage and clean screen features. Simply click off all the items you don't wish to see. Don't let them throw off your natural rhythm with fake daylight savings time. Know the true time. Now with FAQ video links, quickly reference redundant flat earth questions. Easily turn on and off the new compass feature. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how the flat Earth actually works.
The Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Light years ahead of its time.
So cool. I love it. So anywho, appreciate you guys watching. Sorry for the short show, but I think actually people like shorter shows, to be honest. Check out Dwayne's video and the app promo video. Check out David and I go through the features of the app and all the other show links that can be found in the description of this video. Join me tomorrow for Jeranism Monday Night Raw. We have Sophia Smallstorm joining us. That will be a great show. And always watch this channel for more videos and more fun. Thank you again to all my patrons. You guys make this all possible. If you guys want to support this show, support what you like or it goes away. PayPal.me/Jaron, Patreon.com/Jeranism, or Venmo. Send a tip to @Jeranism. It's all greatly appreciated and greatly needed, and I can't say thank you enough. If you want to send me a letter or something in the mail, I really enjoy reading all those. Leanne, I enjoyed your letter recently. Thank you so much, Leanne Guy. Appreciate that a ton. So yeah, appreciate always getting those letters. And if you want to send me anything else, any gear, any swag, any shirts or anything, feel free to do so at P.O. Box 3044, Merced, California, 95344. Thank you again to all the super chatters. Anthony Dickinson, Tim Drake, Cleary, Baller Dave, even though he's an idiot, Michael Pomeroy, RJ Cooper, and VW Blue Sky. Thank you guys so much. I can't say thank you enough, so I'll just keep saying thank you. And that's about it, guys. I remind you all to do your own research, because when you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. Till next time, this has been Jeranism. See you tomorrow on Jeranism Monday Night Raw. Till then, peace.